The fitness boom that began in the 70s spawned a demand for fashions that were more suitable for exercise. Millions of Americans participating in exercise programs for good health have required specialty products to help them look and feel good. The once generic sneaker has been padded, ventilated, supported, reinforced, velcroed, analyzed, arched, logoed, and reproduced in every color of the rainbow. To compete in this volatile sportswear market, one company adopted innovation as their product strategy.
My motto, expect the unexpected, is because I always do what nobody else is doing, the unusual. I try to go, if everyone's going red and left, I go blue and right. I think that we need a lot more variety in this marketplace, and too many people are followers, so someone has to lead.
Welcome to the fast lane, the world of designer sportswear, where the life cycle of a product from introduction to decline is about 3 months. And before the ink is dried on the order catalog, the competition rips off your design and ships 10,000 clones from Hong Kong. So, meet a survivor.
You don't sort of talk about dancewear and fashion bodywear without the name Carushka. She's a very important influence in this business. She's got taste, she has style, she has guts. She's, I think, crazy a little bit. I mean, can you see the hula print on this? I mean, anyone who would do a 40s Hawaiian print leotard has got to be a little nuts.
The first leotards I created in the marketplace were striped. I found the fabric in Paris. It was originally designed for some swimwear. It failed at that level then. This is back in 1978. But I grabbed the fabric, made a leotard, and it was a hit. The striped tights got very, very popular, especially with rock stars. And the striped leotards, and I did at least 100 varieties of mitered stripes and engineers. Being a math major, by the way, in school, I really enjoyed mitering and matching the stripes, and I got known as the queen of stripe bodywear in those years. It was kind of a funny title, but either way, that was my beginning, and now by demand I still have to keep the striped tights in and bring them back every year.
Carushka is a multi-million-dollar business, but the road to success hasn't always been a smooth ride.
You'll have to ask me some questions, because I think I'd forgotten what I'm supposed to talk about. All right, let's see. Well, my first car was a big green station wagon, and I used to load it up with bags filled with multicolored and bright colored and soft colored, all different colored leotards, packaged in little plastic baggies, just like cookies. And then I put a big bow around it with the invoice. I was working on a cash basis then, so I would hand deliver them. I couldn't even afford UPS, didn't even know about it. And my first 100 stores got hand-delivered from the designer who made it, with her assistants, all these custom leotards. And the stores just loved it. They'd cash up front. We used to just open the bag and toss the leotards out right there on their little store floor. And we'd count up to make sure they got the right amount, and then they'd pay me cash or a check right there on the spot, and I'd go, and that's how I did my cash business when I started. It's a lot of fun.
It was a word-of-mouth success story. It was ultimately liked first by the consumer, and the consumer went into the stores and said, I want this item, and then the stores called us and said, we want to carry this item because there are people out there that want to wear your product.
By marketing to smaller specialty boutiques, her first customers were already looking for something unique and were willing to pay for it. With advertising costs well beyond her limited means, she formulated an alternate plan to be certain that the general public became aware of her fashion ideas.
I sent free leotards to certain people that I wanted to, like movie stars, to be seen in my garments. hoping that they would be seen and photographed in my garments, which they were.
This free media exposure accelerated the consumer adoption process, while boutiques brought in the innovators. Trendy magazine covers featuring glamorous stars, decked out in stripes, brought in an ever-widening circle of consumers. Dancers, anxious to emulate stars, began to look for Carushka's fashion designs. But beyond placement and promotion, the product has to provide for the customer's continuing satisfaction.
The way she makes her things is very important because they last. Even though a leotard isn't anymore an investment piece of dressing, it is something that you don't want to throw away after you wear it twice. The colors can't run on your skin or you're going to have a very unhappy customer. I mean, we sell a lot of leotards here, and the ones that keep people coming back are the ones that last, the ones that are flattering, the ones that are fun to wear, and her stuff is always fun to wear.
We did not have to solicit. We didn't do any advertising. We weren't listed in the yellow pages. It was all word of mouth. People used to bribe stores to give them the name and address and phone number so they could contact us to buy our leotards.
It was our first market week in New York. I was so scared I didn't know what to do. I had my associate Lynn and another girl named Judy Fiddler, who was my very first rep, who basically ran around and took orders in California there and waiting in the hotel room. And they said within an hour after this meeting, they had over 100 department store buyers and department managers and vice presidents in this little bedroom, in this little hotel in New York, sitting on the floor, sitting on the beds, saying, "Show us the line," and sitting there with paper writing. It's a phenomenon. It's something, they even said it's something that happens only once every 10 years in the garment industry.
Test marketing of innovative fashions presents two problems. First, a unique design is easily duplicated. And second, often the general public won't accept something new.
I'm pretty confident in my designs. That I don't have to test market that much. That's kind of where I take a stance. Because if I test marketed with my first striped leotard as well as my striped tights, you better believe they would have never been in the marketplace and all this innovation wouldn't have happened. Because I didn't test market. I just took a stance and I said, this is my look, you either buy it or you don't. And I still feel that way.
Being an entrepreneur implies having complete control over your business. And once a strategy is decided upon, standing behind it 100%.
You have to be crazy, first of all, to be an entrepreneur and have the attitude of, well, I think it's great and I believe in it, so what? It's either going to make it or it isn't. And if it isn't, I might lose everything I own, but so what, because I believe in it.
What did you get ready for the...
By believing in her line, Carushka has been able to survive the unrelenting pace of the fashion industry. As the seasons change, so does fashion. And 4 times a year, designers must come up with new and exciting looks. The unveiling of Carushka's newest seasonal line continued to send ripples through the fashion industry.
That's 4 times a year. Then the proven styles that I started with and that over the years have been excellent sellers and that the public still likes and the reorders is what I call my classics line. And I run that all year.
She's also got real good muscle tone because of she does the aerobics.
Around the waist and everything.
Yeah. You want a nice small waist and a nice bust line. She's little, yeah, she's little.
Okay, are you ready? You ready to see this on the girls? Are you excited about this group? I am. And now you're going to see something you won't see anywhere else. Very novel, at least not this season until we get knocked off next season. I get inspiration from the youth because they always see the world differently than the adults, and we can lose track of that. You can't just bring what the youth is wearing and what they're expressing and put it right into the marketplace and expect them to understand it and wear it. I have to be a middleman, and what I do is I put myself in as my consumer. I interpret it for myself first. How would I want that look on my body? And what do I think would be beautiful about that, or handsome or striking? And then I go about thinking how I want to advertise. and putting it on a consumer, such as a beautiful model that is not punk, who is a beautiful everyday model that is showing, look, I can wear this, I look beautiful in it. And it's very important marketing it in black. These aerobic girls and dancers, everyone now wants that really nice high-cut leg. The new look, you're probably seeing that is what is selling and what people want, and we booked this real well. And there she is, ready to work out. There is something different about this tank. Can you tell what it is? About the neckline? It's not round, it's square. It has something high up to it. Now we're having fun. This is our showpiece. This is my Trojan tank. Thank you. Again, the yellow, the periwinkle. My first 4 garments came in about 20 colors because I bought little end bolts down at the neighborhood closeout mill. And I went on maybe 6 garments for the whole first year and a half.
Product strategy must be geared to the specific marketplace for the intended product. Service guarantees sell microwaves, performance sells an automobile. And while Carushka's innovation sells fashions, there are 2 inherent risks.
You can lose. Doesn't mean every line will sell and that everyone will understand it. And the second is that your ideas will be stolen and taken from you right away within a matter of weeks or months, and somebody else will quickly climb up, somebody aggressive, and say, this was my idea first. Seeing it again in our classic line. We loved it so much, it's doing so well, I had to put the classic line. It doesn't look wonderful in heather gray. Now, would you believe those? It wasn't pre-planned. I just went with it and used my intelligence. As I came face to face with a situation or a problem or an advantage, I used my intelligence, and your instincts are the most important thing you can go by. And if you have natural horse sense, as a relative of mine used to say, you can get through it. Because everything in life, we overcomplicate things. Follow your instincts. And they will know who their customer is, when to sell out, when not to sell that boutique anymore.
Inhale up, leave the arms to the top, and small reaches up.
Bodywear continued to find new customers as it spread from the aerobics class to health spas and fitness centers. Anxious to expand into other markets, Carushka diversified her customer base by offering a line of casual wear, children's wear, and even a line for men, designed at the request of John Travolta. But unfortunately, this time Carushka's instincts missed the targeted audience, and men's bodywear didn't survive.
It was too new in 1983. We were successful in 2 of the lines, 2 seasons that I shipped it, but it was still such a small market it wasn't worth my while. Now it is, men are wearing wild floral hot pants at the gym and stripes and things that they would never dream of wearing 5 years ago. So once again, it's a market that's more mature, and there is a need, and I've got my ears real big and my radar open, and I'm starting to introduce menswear 2 seasons ago. And now it is growing and getting bigger and bigger because men are starting to do aerobics more.
Although men's bodywear didn't survive, the demand for Carushka's product continued to grow. Expanding to meet the market's needs, a large sales force was hired to service the department store accounts. The company grew so fast that Carushka could no longer personally supervise the day-to-day running of the business. This sudden growth, combined with a downturn in the market, resulted in a crisis.
In 1985, the market bottomed out, just like the stock market. And it got saturated with many, many leotard lines, and the Jane Fonda one in particular, flooded the market. There weren't enough people to buy all the product, and it, as a result, caused many departments to close. within department stores and many stores to go out of business. So I would figure, oh gosh, at least 36% of the market dropped out, if not closer to 40, which is a big, big drop. I had to lay off people. That was very, very difficult. I didn't want to go into any form of a bankruptcy or have any bad debt, and it took a lot of good planning. I had to bring specialists in and slip out and review everything. I took a year off and decided that how was I going to get back into the market, and what was the market telling me? What is it saying now? Okay, if it's saturated and at the department store level, maybe that's not where I want to be anymore, because there is still a market out there, and who are they and how do I get to them?
Carushka did something unheard of in most business enterprises. She closed the company and went on an extended vacation.
When I was on vacation and relaxing, I have to say for the first 6 months I never wanted to work again. I enjoyed basking in the sun and not really thinking about too much. And when I returned from my trips abroad, in Europe, and I even went around the world, I got boxes and boxes of fan mail, people begging me to come back in the marketplace, and I have to say, I guess it was ego that I got back in. It was more such sweet letters, people that said, you make the best body wear, please come back, where can I find your product? And letter after letter I would read these, and I just felt like I couldn't let my audience down. I felt a loyalty to them. They helped me to achieve my success, and they still wanted me, and I just had to go back.
This is nice.
I've always wanted to use a matte finish. Yeah, that is neat. All right, we'll put it off to the side. We'll think about it.
Taking a year off gave Carushka plenty of time to analyze the problems her business had run into.
I had so many managers, salesmen that were always telling me long sleeves, short sleeves, high legs, red, blue, mixed messages, that I lost track of really what the public wanted. So I took a year off, did some traveling, regrouped, decided that I really needed to get in touch again with the public, so I went into a direct mail program, and I made my own catalogs, picked the models myself, did my own styling, and that is what I do now. I don't have salesmen, I don't have a factor, I don't have banks involved. I finance everything myself, and I ship COD, and I ship specialty stores, and I have my dream come true, which is this store, which I've always wanted, and I'm in direct contact with the customer, and I love that. It's fun again.
Little black
bra top.
Being a small company allows us a lot of flexibility and freedom to do things. We are able to fulfill orders, change styles. We don't have to be caught up in ordering large quantities of things. We're able to experiment more and be more creative with the styles and things that we produce here.
When Carushka reopened her business, she decided to keep everything under one roof. On a daily basis, she's able to keep a check on production as well as involve herself in sales.
How I ensure quality presently, and have since 1987 when I reopened my business, is I am right there, hands-on. I have a small premise. On a daily basis, I talk with my sewers, and I mean the production sewers. I check that the stitches don't crack, that the measurements are up to spec, and I do it all directly. In the past, I had so many managers. I had 4 full-time quality control people. And it was really hard, once again, if one of them goofed, then 25% of my production made before one day wasn't good, and that could be 10,000 garments. So I am right there, and I have it much smaller, and it's more hands-on.
Well, 1301 is our web tight, and it goes all the way to the ankle and up to the waist, and it has the open crocheted side.
I will go into the customer service department and relieve one of the girls. Purposely, I'll ask her to go take a break, or if there's a free desk, I will go and answer the phone, and I will take the order as often as I can. If I have a free moment, I like to hear what the customers have to say.
Great to hear that. 066. I thought I just sent you these last week.
And I'll ask them questions. How do you like the product? Is there anything that I can do to improve? I get so many nice thank you notes because they know I really care and they can talk to me directly.
Carushka no longer markets to large department stores. Instead, she ships to thousands of specialty boutiques. She's also eliminated the need for factors by operating on a COD basis. The demand for Carushka's designs has expanded far beyond the United States market.
My international business has been a real surprise to me. I don't know exactly the reason, and it really doesn't matter. I just know that it has grown to 40 different countries in a 3-year period. It might be the weakness of the dollar overseas, or hopefully the strength of my line. The Japanese market finally has grown and grown and grown and taken 10% of my volume. And the Italians, the Swedish, Iceland, Bahrain, Hong Kong, Bangkok, very, very interesting, the people that find me and write me. I don't pursue them. That's what's so interesting. They write me, we want the product, they wire the money, we send it, and it's a big, happy international family, and I love it. And when I travel internationally, of course, I visit them. My catalog probably encompasses about 2/3 of my advertising budget, which is very large. It's 12% of my volume. And that is a high percentage if you ask any accountant that would talk about a garment firm. I handpick all my models. I don't leave it to an advertising firm. I tried that once and it just didn't work. I like to be, again, hands-on, not only with the product but with the catalog. I see it from start to finish. I work on the layout alongside with a layout designer and with the printer and the models, and I style all the shoots. I know what I want to show in that garment, so I ask the model to do what I need her to do. And it's turned out very successful. We ship close to 100,000 catalogs every season, and when I started, we could barely muster up 1,000 catalogs.
It's 2 Betty Crocker.
Now this is interesting, Carushka, as
Keeping most of the decision-making to herself, Carushka has also a strong opinion about how to spend the remainder of her advertising budget.
I think it is very, very important to support the accounts that I ship to, which are about 400, with advertising beyond the catalog. You have to let the market know that you're out there so that they can go to their hometown and find the product. It's just terribly important to advertise. Besides word of mouth and of course the product spreading, you have to be out there visually.
I think that if you look back at the genesis